Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hey, Ashley. How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm here. You know, every day inundated with some new ish, but we out here, we making it, we adulting, we living. I'm drinking my water. How about you?
Minding my business. Technically, we're not, because we're going to talk about it on this podcast, right? How are you spending your Black History Month? Are you feeling Black? Are you feeling moisturized, appreciated? Like, I'm curious.
I can't say I ever feel truly appreciated living in this country, but I will damn sure say that I'm staying moisturized. Thank you, Sarah Vay. And I am...
Shout out to L'Occitane Shea Butter, bougie Shea Butter out here.
Call back, guys. Call back to our chat about Super Bowl commercials if you have not listened to our latest episode.
Please do. Shout out to Kylia.
Shout out Kylia. And you know, I'm Blackity Black 365. So I feel like this month, as it tends to be typically in general now, but especially February, has flown by. So, you know, I'm gonna keep the spirits up for the rest of the year, basically. February is just the start of Black History Month, I guess. And the rest of the year is ours too. So there you go. What about you?
I've been living my best Black life. Real talk. I've been very active at my work, putting on Black History Month activities and events, and it's been very successful. So it's been making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So just happy to see that the planning and the work, you know, blooming and being appreciated is, I'm loving it. But then I'm also feeling like, why am I putting so much work? I'm just playing.
Listen, I'm rooting for everybody Black. So y'all do y'all thing.
It's like, see us. We are here. Okay. Which sounds like a theme. Shout out to our upcoming recap. So not during Black History Month news, Miss Kelly Rowland has been in the headlines. And they haven't been great, Ashley. Last Thursday, I'm looking at Deadline. This came out February 17th. NBC's Today scrambled to find new guest hosts after Kelly Rowland walked out over dressing room dispute. Girl, this was all over the internet. Even Hoda came out and talked about how we love Kelly. She's always welcome. And we can share my dressing room in the future, which was a sprinkle of shade, I like to say.
Yeah.
And when I sent this to you, Ashley, I was like, this seems so out of character. I don't even know what the heck is going on.
It's been everyone's sentiment. This does not sound like any version of Kelly Rowland we've ever encountered.
She's been famous for a very long time. And it didn't help because you have Rita Ora. Don't ask me what she's promoting, but she was there and was able to fill in as a guest and then as the fourth hour guest host for Hoda in Jenna's absence. The reason why we're talking about it today is because I'm looking at Entertainment Tonight. Shout out to the OG. What was his name? Something Tesh.
I'm sorry.
John Tesh and the blonde lady.
See, I don't even remember the names. I can see the faces, but I definitely don't remember their names. Primarily, you know why I primarily remember their faces? Not that I didn't watch ET for years, but they had a cameo in The Bodyguard because they were talking about Rachel and her trip to Miami. So
They also were given major Barbie Ken vibes. So Entertainment Tonight comes out and says Kelly Rowland's rep speaks out after reportedly walking off today's set. Yvette, fame publicist extraordinaire, came out to speak and said the following: after 28 years of knowing her, Kelly Rowland remains one of the kindest, most amiable humans I have ever met and have had the blessing to represent. The rumor is out in these streets is that the reason why Kelly Rowland walked out was because she was aggressively asked, quote unquote, from Savannah on asking Beyonce questions.
After the way she shut down Big Tigger, I'm not surprised if that is the case. It's like, I think that she's been so gracious, her and Michelle, over the years with being inundated with questions about Beyonce when they are promoting their own projects or doing their own thing because they love her. They are family. They, are super close and have a great relationship with her. But at the end of the day, I am on a press tour for a movie that I am starring in. Do not ask me any questions about Beyonce on this press tour, please. You don't ask Beyonce about me.
About Kelly?
When she's doing her interviews. Not that Beyonce does many. So.
Exactly. And I thought that piece of tea made a lot of sense. Mea Culpa coming out next week, directed by Tyler Perry. I originally have written off Tyler Perry, but he sucks me back in with these stars he's able to capture. So,
what made you write him off?
Girl, the wigs to start. Okay.
He can make a fine man look crazy.
Girl, with these and wigs. That's when I was still appreciating Shamar Moore during that time too. That was like peak, and that bad braided wig. Ooh,
I'm surprised. That's how you know Shamar Moore ain't your typical light-skinned man, because he took one for the team. He said, I am pretty, but if y'all want to throw this ugly wig on me, I'ma be a team player.
You know how many job though.
You know how many light-skinned men would have said nah.
Would never.
Nah. And as people say on these internets, they ain't touch Kelly hair. Okay? They didn't touch Kelly hair.
Again, she's the Kelly Rowland. I mean, her style, she's just so freaking gorgeous. Did you see her at her husband's 50th anniversary? Or anyway, at her husband's 50th birthday party?
I don't remember when this transition happened to her being a style goddess of my heart.
Girl,
she's had me in a chokehold for a long time.
A while. And it's everything. It's not even the clothes, it's the hair, it's the makeup, because she can switch them up like the best of them. Like, she'll show up with a short bob, and then she'll do the big hair, and then she'll do the long weave. Gorgeous. Mm-hmm. So I agree. I'm like, it just screams wealth, and I'm here for it. Kelly, we love you. You can come on our podcast. We only will ask questions about you and how you were doing in your projects, because Kelly is enough. Like, I don't know why people she's more than enough. Oh, yes. My gosh. That's why I also appreciate it when she showed up to Sherry. Sherry had me cracking up, talking about you had the best. We did the best dressing room for you. And she's like, yes, you did. But I think she knew what it was. So
she said it was a safe space. And I appreciate that a Black woman had to save the day as usual and provide a safe space for our girl to have a good interview. So there you go.
Absolutely. Speaking of fashion, Zendaya has been killing it during this Dune Part 2 press tour. Today, both she and Timothée Chalamet are in South Korea looking like twinsies.
I've never been a huge jumpsuit lover, but give me this.
Never. I agree. It's from a Seoul-based designer. I think it's pronounced June J, and it's still a peach version. And they talked about the zipping details. I'm looking at people. It says Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet, twin in leather jumpsuits at Dune Part 2 event in Seoul, Korea. You know, this made me giggle, Ashley, because Timothée was like, what you're not going to do is outshine me again, the way she did.
And that Mugler, baby.
Girl,
Ooh.
in London?
When I tell you, when I saw the picture, I said, if Timothy had ever thought that there was a time when no one was looking at him, this is that moment. Not a single eye in the room is looking at you, baby.
It's like
stunning.
Stunner. I was trying to talk to somebody about it. I'm like, you don't understand the gravity of what she did. She not only took, you know, vintage Mugler. This is a 1995 suit, but you got to have a level of confidence and fierceness to pull it off the way that she did. And the hair, the makeup, the minimal makeup, the body,
the necklace.
The suit.
I can't.
The necklace. Ashley, fire.
She is a fashion icon. Do y'all hear me? Zendaya is in another world.
And her are not to be played with.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Where's my Zendaya style book? Can I get a book?
Oh, like Rihanna? Rihanna has that.
Yes. Can I get a book? It will definitely be coffee table for me.
You know what was really funny? As soon, like the next morning after that London premiere, Vogue announced the co-chairs for 2024's Met Gala. And Zendaya was first. And then we have Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, and Chris Hemsworth. This year's theme is the Garden of Time. So that should be interesting. And it's the first Monday in May, y'all. If you don't know, now you know.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Talk about it. Oh, God. I just can't get enough. When I saw it, I think I like, you see something, you just like close your eyes and turn your head. I was outdone.
Truly. Like I saw some haters online was like, oh, all the attention is on her. Yes, she's starring in the fucking film. What else do you mean? If that's not a movie star, what are we here for?
Some people just were bored because that doesn't even make sense. So anyway.
Legendary status. Legend. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our hot topics. We're already here, man. Time flies when you have fun. We're still in the swing of award season, Ashley, and the BAFTAs happened over the weekend. I'm looking at Variety. It says Oppenheimer and Poor Things win big as Barbie and Maestro are shut out. And they're not lying. I mean, Best Film, Oppenheimer. Best Director, Christopher Nolan. Supporting Actor, Robert Downey Jr. And when it came to Lead Actor, Cillian Murphy, I mean, it makes sense. I feel like when you look at the BAFTAs and then you look at the Oscars, we talk about this all the time. Their academies are older, frankly, and they love this war shit.
I have not seen either of these two films. So I don't know. Don't get me wrong. What happens in them, but I've heard things about Poor Things, and I'm like,
it's wacky. I shouldn't say it's wacky. It's avant-garde.
The face I'm making, guys, is like, that's my face. Because I'm curious to know. I'm sure there was some
of a child in a robot or a reborn body. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll give it a watch some point in time, but to your point, it's commercially Oppenheimer did well, I think, because of the attachment to Barbie.
Yes.
Otherwise, again, you're playing to a very small crowd, to your point.
Yep.
Y'all, I know y'all want to keep the integrity of these award shows, and thank God for fashion and thank God for humor,
Yes,
because
exactly, Ashley.
otherwise these things would be snooze fests. So I just hope there continues to be more diversity to entertain and entice people to watch this ish. So
Yeah. Emma Stone won for leading actress for Poor Things, and Devon Joy Rudolph won for The Holdovers. I'm really excited about that because we talked about this previously about who we feel like which other award shows are best indicators for the Oscars, and this is one of them for me personally. Shout out to American Fiction for winning Best Adapted Screenplay. That
now that I
warmed
do want to
my
see.
soul.
I'm
Me
excited to see
too.
that.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, Ashley, the fashion wasn't doing it for me at the BAFTAs. I'm like, did the designers run out of things? I mean, don't get me wrong, award season has been swinging strong and we have had some amazing looks, but even our go-to people weren't really hitting the mark. I the only people I want to shout out, I want to shout out Ryan Gosling and Gucci because I appreciate his consistency being Ken, and Fantasia Barrino. Uh, she was in Red. Let me see the name of the designer. She was in Bencella Haute Couture. She was in Haute Couture. I'm not familiar with the designer, but she looked amazing.
Fantasia is the only one for me. I looked at the pictures as well. I love this red. I love the draping. I think she looks very elegant, but also makes a statement. I think that's one of the big things. There wasn't a
Yes.
lot of color on the carpet.
Yes.
And
And
so
I
I
love
think
these
it
sheer
felt,
gloves too.
yeah, I think it felt a little more restrained to me than the carpets of a lot of other shows.
Interesting. I wonder if it's because, Britain
Mm-hmm.
subdued,
Mm-hmm.
keep calm, carry on, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bash an entire nation slogan. I just can't think of it at the moment. Let's talk about this viral picture, okay? Prince William. You know what's so funny? After, my faves, the Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan left to live their best lives, the royal family has been making all types of gaffes, like just bad press, bad pictures. I'm like, y'all could have used not only the goodwill but the tech savvy that the Sussexes brought, you know, to that family, but they fumbled that bag out of jealousy. But we've had these conversations before. But in lieu of all the recent medical drama that's going on with the family, Prince William still was able to come out and support the awards. And again, medical, I'm referring to King Charles's recent diagnosis with cancer and Princess Kate recently dealing with abdominal surgery. But this picture of William cracking himself up and the way that I want to call her Bridgerton so bad, but Phoebe AO. I'm not familiar with the other two actresses. The one that won the Rising Star, though, she's the one that's pivotal to apparently the backstory of this horrific picture. Her name is Mia McKenna Bruce. She won for the film How to Have Sex. And girl, apparently he was just talking about, yeah, nice to meet you all. It was a strong category. And he looked to the winner and said, congratulations to her. He said, I haven't seen it, but I think I think it looked like you had a lot of fun. And it's important to state, trigger warning. There's some sexual assault that happens in the film. And I'm not laughing at that, but I'm just like, sir, what? And their faces, Ashley, are just so priceless. My favorite reaction is like, yeah, ayo, her Irish is coming out. You know what I mean? Because, she's with the Irish. She's Irish, of course. They ain't got time for the royal family. Girl, what do you think about this bit?
When you sent it, I was like, I have no idea what this man could possibly be saying. Maybe it's because I don't imagine him being funny. Always seems so stiff to me. So I was like, what could possibly be funny?
He's not his brother.
And so then to know that he made such a huge mistake, I'm like, who is your team? No one at least gave you a snippet of a summary. Like Delora, we could have prepped him better for this moment than whoever was on his team. We could have given him a short rundown of each of the films that he could have retained. Because he said the worst possible thing he could have said about a film that features sexual assault. So, yeah, he needs some better prep, people, for sure. Hopefully this is a lesson learned, and he will either say, how did you enjoy your performance? How did you enjoy the film? How did you enjoy the experience? Versus making any type of what he thought was going to be witty banter or commentary. So you live and you learn.
Truly. I don't know how else to say it, All right, Ashley, let's go to our final hot topic of the day. The woman of the hour, apparently, because she is doing multiple things at the same time. And I'm referring to the one, the only Beyoncé Knowles Carter. Let's first start with her music, what she's known for. Beyoncé makes history as first Black woman atop Hot Country Songs chart. This is coming directly from Billboard. Texas Hold'em launches at number 1. Plus, her 16 Carriages rolls in at number 9. Ashley, could you have imagined this happening when she dropped these songs last week?
Abso-freaking-lutely. It's Beyonce. If anybody can cross over into a genre that they have never recorded in substantially, putting that in quotes, and kill it, it's going to be a superstar of Beyonce's caliber. So, you already had all the hoopla about the one radio station that at first sent that generic letter supposedly about, hey, we don't play Beyonce. So you have that. You have the dropping of the tracks during the Super Bowl and the hype up for that. Then you have the fact that this woman has a fandom that is going to follow her no matter where she goes and what she does. I cannot escape my Instagram feed without seeing at least 5 videos of people doing brand new choreographed line dances they've created to Texas Hold'em. So it's inescapable. Country people have been getting so much pub, particularly country Black artists, off of this transition.
I got one my hidden gems for our next episode, actually.
I mean, it's Beyonce. So yes, I had no doubt that this is what was gonna happen. I
didn't think it was gonna be number 1, but it's so funny because I was very vocal on how I did not enjoy it when I first heard it at all. I felt like it was completely generic and almost like I said, I felt like Daddy Lessons had more nuance and something to bite into than Texas Hold'em.
You wanted a deep country song out the gate.
No, not necessarily deep, but just not so like it's not folksy. It just seems very what's the word I'm looking for? Disposable in some ways. It was just like it's like junk food versus something that's like savory or decadent. And that's what you get with 16 carriages, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God she released them both at the same time. And as we both mentioned before, and I think you said it best, it was giving, you know, You Won't Break My Soul and
Run the World
girl,
Girls.
right. Because it was like, no.
Or 7-Eleven, because
Or
that is my
7-Eleven.
least favorite Beyonce song of all time.
That grew on me and I loved it. So
I love the
that's the
video.
exception.
Hated the song. I was like, what are we doing? But I do understand what you mean about it though. It's a single. It's made for, I guess with this, a hoedown, a line dance. Like it has its place. It's not gonna be something you're like, let me throw this track on just while I'm riding out in the car necessarily. It's like it has a place where that's the vibe that you're trying to create. So I definitely get that.
And that's what I like talking to Dave. I realized I'm like, maybe that was the point to do the junk food and pass it out to everybody for them to enjoy.
I don't even get in the country like that. One of my favorite country songs is Red Solo Cup.
Oh, that's your
fill
song.
You up. Let's have a party. That's my song.
Girl, can we? I have two words for you. Carrie Underwood. Okay.
Yes.
The way I have so many songs on my Apple Music that I've bought through the years because she was just simply that girl.
Yes, vocally especially, but I just mean in terms of this, like the candy, the bubble gum side of music. That was one. I used to jam out to that song. Like, let me get my Red Solo Cup. What am I doing? Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking about one of my favorite Carrie Underwood songs. But even I was a Taylor Swift fan when she was with her fake country accent and everything like that. So yeah, anyway.
When she was wearing her cowgirl boots and her floral dresses. Like, and before she started straightening her hair.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Anyway. Congratulations to Beyonce on this win. I didn't think it would be a number one, but I appreciate this, especially with someone who's had such a storied career, right? To be able to still manage to get a number one single and just switching genres like that. It's pretty impressive.
What you got to say now, Shannon Sharp? You know what you said.
What did he say?
He said that he didn't feel like Beyonce had the power and influence that Taylor Swift has and can't move the needle in the same way.
Ooh, I'm tired of us copying apples and oranges. Like, they are fruit, yes, but they are not the same.
It's not even apples and oranges, baby. It's apples and a watermelon. Like, I don't know.
Oh, in the midst of the success of her two country singles, Beyonce has released Sacred, her new hair care line, along with her mother. And I mentioned she's doing a lot of things. She's also cover girl for Essence in this iconic. She has multiple iconic covers with the magazine, but the spread is truly gorgeous. So let's talk about Sacred. Okay. She has 8 pieces in the collection, came out February 20th. We have a clarifying shampoo and scrub, a scalp scrub, hydrating shampoo, moisturizing deep conditioner, a reconstructing treatment mask, a moisture sealing lotion, a nourishing hair oil, a fermented rice and rose ritual treatment, and a quote unquote shaking vessel that allows you to blend the ritual treatment. It says here in the Essence article, together, they'll strengthen and smooth the hair and also help to recover from any damage. The entire line is made through an advent of a custom technology, a patent pending bioactive keratin ferment. naturally it's infused with honey. Ashley, are you
Mhm.
gonna get some new hair care products?
If my hairdresser decides to give it a try, I mean, speaking of hair history and Black women, I trust my hairdresser with my hair care and decisions. Shout out to my girl Kali. I just had my first steam treatment recently, which I really enjoyed. She got me onto apple cider vinegar, which has really helped with scalp treatments for
Yep,
me.
absolutely.
So, if she decides to give this a shot, great. Otherwise, it's probably just another celebrity brand that I will see in Target and other stores and look at and pass
Shout out to
by.
Alta. Yeah.
hmm Tracy Ellis
Um,
Ross. I mean, you name it.
mhm,
I see them and I'm
yeah.
like, cool.
So I am a hair kitchen expert, and so was my mom. I didn't get my hair done by a professional until my prom. And I
Wow.
asked the girl to smooth, give me a nice pony, high pony, because I've always been big on chic, sophisticated. That's always been my
Your general aesthetic.
my general aesthetic. So I had high pony, halter dress, plenty of cleavage.
The
But at the end of
girlies.
they were out, and it was a new experience too. So that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, I mainly do my own hair, and I do go to my hairdresser. Shout out to Brittany, Hair Kitchen, love her so much. She keeps. I never cut my own hair, so I always make sure I get like a nice good treatment, and then I get my trims when my hair was longer. And now I just make sure I get my shape up. But I'm not running right now to get these products. I say all that to say that. I have a nice situation. I actually recently got complimented on the fact that my 4C hair curls are popping, because they are. Shout out to Natural Texture Hair, and love your
Yes,
hair at
baby.
every um shape, because when I tell you starting the hair care the natural hair journey, everybody's like, well, if your hair doesn't look like this, then you don't have good natural hair. BS.
Such a
BS.
process. It's such a process. It's an emotional process too. That's why I
It
always
is.
understand the conversation around Black women and our hair, because it really can be such a source of emotions for us, such a source
It
of
is. But it's
struggle,
highly
stress.
political.
Yes. Well, especially when trends shift, right? And we're back in the
Yes.
natural hair care shift. So then you get shamed if you want to wear your hair straight or relaxed, which I am on the curly side, train for sure, but I will still go back to straight if I so choose. But I say all this to say, like, I understand Beyonce stepping into this lane, especially with Mama Tina, and the fact that for years, we've known that Beyonce got her start working in her mother's hair salon and all these things. So it
Yep.
makes so much sense, like as a brand, why she stepped in this lane.
Yep.
But I think, again, even though it's Beyonce, it's just kind of another celebrity brand to me. Like, I think the next celebrity brand I would get really, really excited about is like if her launches a sunglasses line, honestly.
Or
That would
just frames. I would love that.
that would excite me greatly. Like, sign me up.
Yeah. Speaking of celebrity brands, I'm glad that you say that. I think one of the most pitch perfect rollouts was when Rihanna came out with her Savage Fenty
Mhm.
brand, the lingerie. I'm like, oh, this speaks exactly to Rihanna's persona of just being sexy
Yep.
and hot.
Yep.
Being that girl.
Yep.
Okay. Uh
BDSM, baby.
um, oh girl, I forgot that song.
Mm-hmm.
All right, B. Good luck with this endeavor. In this Essence magazine, they kind of did outline her ventures through the years. We had House of Darion. We, of course, have Parkwood Entertainment, which is going very strong. And more recently, Ivy Park. So, did you ever buy House of Darion? I'm curious.
I
I
never bought
never
House
bought
of
a
Darion.
single thing.
I've
No,
never
me
even bought
either.
anything from Ivy Park though. Again, I'm not this is the thing that I've probably talked about to you more personally than I have on the pod. Like the translation between having a fandom for people in their art form as musicians and things like that does not necessarily translate into their other businesses for me. Like I'm not that person who transitions based on anything, any product you put out, right? It has to make sense for me. It has to be something I actually gravitate towards. And I'm not an Adidas person. I don't like
Yeah.
Adidas stuff. So regardless, that's why I said even with hair care, whatever, even with Rihanna, it took me a long time to even try a Fenty product, not because I don't like Rihanna. It's just like, is it actually a good product? And it took going to get a makeup consultation and somebody else using it on me for me to be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Fenty's cool.
Oh, yeah. And from my personal experience when it comes to Fenty, it's the foundation and the matching for me that I absolutely love and genuinely is one of her best products.
It's the
But
lips for me. She knows how to
the
do a lip,
I do
honey.
not like her lipstick. I
I
do not like
love
her
it.
lipstick or her eyeshadow. I do love a good glow moment with the highlighter and the bronzers, but yeah, the lips bleed for me after a while, and I'm just like, I don't like that.
There are two shades that I have of her lipstick, and I also have a lip gloss. But I love the case that I got my lipstick that comes in with her. But I finally got a shade of red from her that I really, really, really like, and that's
Oh,
the
that's
only
good.
thing me and T Swift have in common is a red lip.
Oh,
Uh,
I adore red lip, but my
yeah,
favorite
and a
red lip
nude.
comes from Tom Ford. Tom Ford lipsticks, when if you can afford it, top freaking notch.
I
They
just got
last
a
all
Tom Ford
day.
sample, so
Yes.
for my
Now,
birthday at Sephora.
I and I love red lips so much, Ashley. I have it in two shades. I have my summer red, and then I have my winter red, which is more of it's like a deeper wine blood moment
I always say two
versus
things that look beautiful on Black women:
color.
a pop of actually three: red, a pop of like a strong pink, and
Mm-hmm.
yellow. And that's not just lips, that's clothes. When I
Close.
say yellow, because obviously yellow lip sounds weird, but those colors just are so vibrant on Black skin to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, Ashley. Anything else before we talk about our recap for next week?
Go B, do your thing.
Do your thing. Oh, I also forgot to mention she also released a perfume earlier this year as well, which again, I'm not in any type of hurry to smell, but I'm open.
If I get a sample, I'll wear it.
Oh, I forgot to ask you this, Ashley. What is she doing? Like, she is out here talking to us. She has done an entire Super Bowl commercial. She did an entire meet and greet with social media influencers for the rollout of Sacred. Like, she hasn't been this active in a very long time, and it's almost like I don't know how to like, what is this? What's the motivation?
You know what I think it could be a strong sense of is like pushing into her next career endeavors that are going to replace her musical life that she's had for so long. I think she said it in something that was going on during maybe Renaissance Part One or Act One, rather, about the fact that that's where her head is at. It's like, what does the next chapter of my life look like? I want to have more flexibility and freedom to be with my family and things like that. So that's what I think. It's almost like when you start to see athletes moving into new spaces, I always think like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're setting up your retirement plan, right? You're getting ready
Mm-hmm.
for the next phase of your life. So just like Rihanna has been able to transition pretty much completely out of music due to the success of her businesses, I think Beyonce's probably just setting herself up in that way as well, so that when the time comes and she's ready to be done with that being the majority of how she earns her living, she'll be set up to do so. Not that she needs any more money, but just to keep busy, I guess, to have some things to do.
Right. She needs to put her Virgo mind to something productive.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out for making plans and doing things years at a time. She said that she was working on this for over 6 years. And
You
we
know when
know
I wish this would have come out?
when.
When Black is King came out. Because never
Ooh.
have I seen so many interesting hairstyles from her that were inspired for the project
Mm,
that would have made
true.
so much sense with the rollout of a hair care line.
Interesting. That's a good point. Shout out to Water. I'm explicitly thinking about Water when she had that Rapunzel moment at the end.
Fantastic. Never seen her more
Absolutely.
experimental than that.
Yep. All right, Ashley. What we recapping?
All right, so this is going to be our last Black History Month recap, guys, and we are going out with a musical flair, okay? Because The Color Purple 2023 musical is now available to stream via Max. So Delora and I are going to dive in. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we enjoyed. We're going to dive into the music, the performances, and as always, give our hot takes. So stay tuned for that.
Can't wait, Ashley.
Cannot wait. It was so entertaining. So I'm really looking forward to talking about this film. All right, guys, as always, thank you for coming back to ReCappin, for sticking with us for another episode. We so appreciate you guys
Yes,
week
we
after week
do.
after week. We love talking to you.
Absolutely.
Please share this episode with your friends, family, loved ones, everyone. Give us a rating or a review. We will be back, as I mentioned, with that recap. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.